So many people would have heard about the conversations going on about smart cities, but what actually is a smart city? It's one of them narratives really. A lot of potential is being discussed around smart cities, smart nations and smart technology as a whole. The focus is about the opportunities to improve lives, to have internet enabled edge connectivity, and with the advent of 5G and new emerging technologies, then this is only going to start making progress and showing signs of a true reality in the next couple of years. The smart city concept is having connected and interconnected systems. They are all linked with transport, road networks, health, education, smart buildings, renewable energies, but also having that information and gathering that big data in real time. So some of the topics within smart cities, we're looking at smart transport network systems, also everything down to even smart recycle bins. But having all these interconnectivities, bringing in multiple companies, multiple entities, and it's only going to start developing in reality over probably 10 years. Once the adoptability of it is mainstream, we won't even know that we're using it. So if we go back 20 years where the mobile phone was a new creation, all you could do was actually phone on it. And then today we've got cameras built into our phones, mapping systems, thousands of applications, our books, our music. The list is endless. I mean, there's a couple of million applications that we can actually utilize just with a mobile phone in our pocket, which is now more powerful than computers were 20 years ago. So we are now looking at new ways to interact, how people manage their working lives, how companies manage, and we spend and waste a lot of time in traffic. We waste a lot of garbage that can't be recycled because it's not segregated correctly. And this is where artificial intelligence, augmented reality, sensors, coding, they can all change that. I mean, one bin receptacle that you throw your rubbish in, you can have a camera system using AI that then self-segregates the waste into multiple bins. Takes away the human element. The accuracy is around 97, 98% accurate. And plastics will go into plastics, paper into paper, and so on. This only increases the recyclability, but also having sensors that then indicate when the bin is full, when it needs emptying. So you are getting a more smart transport system at the same time. So the collection times are reduced, so there's no need to go and collect a half-empty bin, for example. This is just one example of how new emerging technologies can actually work. We can have smart lamppost systems full of LED sensors, so lights are only activated when people are around or vehicles are around. What is the point in lighting up a whole street or a whole network of streets 2-3 o'clock in the morning when nobody's there? All you're doing is wasting electricity. So you can actually set parameters using multiple sensors, but then there's an added security benefit to this. So if your street lighting system is only active when somebody is around, imagine a person or women in particular walking home late at night and the street lights come on behind them. Then they know somebody's there. There's no element of risk. You can link this up to CCTV systems that only become active when the lights activate. So you can have a guardianship CCTV security system. You can have speakers and buttons put into the street lighting that you can call for help if required, or even if you're just lost, you're a tourist, you can just go to any street light, press a button, goes through to an intercom, and you can even have that with a small screen so you can interact. There's hundreds of applications. We are moving into electric vehicles, whether that is cars or bikes or scooters. The lamppost systems can become charging points, but you can also have contactless charging for your mobile devices as well. So there's a whole range, but you can also put traffic management systems in place. Each street light becomes its own node, it monitors the traffic flow, and you can even divert traffic if required to stem the flow of traffic in busy areas and less busy areas. And this can all be done using AI applications that are a lot quicker, a lot faster, a lot more accurate than having human interventions of creating switches. And then you can also put this into smart contract systems. So, for example, one of the ideas is to have a digital smart wallet enabled for a car. So your number plates and automatic number plate recognition systems can actually pay for your car parking, pay for your fuel. Your car, when it becomes autonomous, has the potential of driving itself to a repair garage late at night, having new tyres, being serviced, and then first thing in the morning, your car is back home and it's been serviced and there's no inconvenience to you. But there's also multiple markets that will emerge. So hiring a car by the hour, so you can have a driverless car that will come collect you. You can then utilise that car for as long as you wish, and as soon as you finish with it can go and be utilised by somebody else. So it reduces the amount of cars that are parked up in car parks. Most people who have a car, they will drive to work in the morning. That vehicle then sits there for about 8 hours until they drive home, and then it'll sit at home for 12-14 hours. And so it's having the usability, and if you can have multiple tiering, so you can have various ranges of cars, but only have them when you need it. If you want it for longer, then you keep it for longer. But there's whole new emerging markets that are going to be coming through in the next couple of years. And this is all around smart connectivity and having AI enabled systems, because computers are getting a lot better, a lot faster, but also the technology behind it is now emerging into a whole new industry. And then we look at healthcare systems, where you can have smart sensors in people's homes so the elderly can stay in their own home for longer. You can have healthcare monitoring systems similar to what is in Fitbits or in any other wearable device that allows you to monitor your health. But you can also have video conversations with a doctor rather than going to see a doctor. You could have a device connected to yourself, wearable. The doctor gets real-time data, and this is all going to improve people's lives, activity, and so forth. And then we've got out of area, out of reach, places around the world that can start becoming connected. So remote farm locations, people in extreme remote locations that can start having new emerging economies, farming, agriculture, and so on. So there's a whole range of what can actually be done. And this is where we'll be creating several videos that we can explain in more depth what new emerging technologies is all about, new smart technology, and hopefully it will start to educate people to what this new technology is all about. Thank you for listening. Speak to you soon.